Streaming at the top of your lungs. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. Streaming at the top of our lungs. Streaming at the top of our lungs. Bossa Nova beat. Will it ever end? I like Bossa Nova because I'm an organ player, but I'm not sure if this qualifies as good Bossa Nova. I want some background music for this live stream, folks, so bear with me. I have two tabs open, I have two channels open, so it's very frustrating. Here we go, okay. They keep playing this over and over and over and over and over. The same little 12 bars. That is sickening, man. That's like torture, dude. Now I'm afraid to look at anything that they have. That's like hold music from hell. Come on now, come on, get away from this. Come on, no, come on. I just want clean away from them. There, okay, we're getting better. This is unprofessional, man. This is very unprofessional. Go. See, otherwise we'll have this hiss in the background. And I don't really like it. So we need something to put there. And I know what is good. I'm going to find something that's really good, and I know exactly what to go for here. Copyright-free music, period. And then I know where to go, because I've used it before. This right here, this Nor. Jazz Nor. It's decent. It's doable. Okay, well, at least it's got me a little bit hyper here, because generally I'm not so hyper. Okay, now what we're going to do here, I want to do this. I'm going to start this over, because I want you to see something. Right here is Hubble, GN-z11. This is our first supposed galaxy. Now there's a couple of ways we can go about this here. We can either, you can sit and watch me be frustrated and get this to look like I had it end up as, or I can just show you what it ended up as. But what I'm going to do here is give you a glimpse of where it is, so you don't just think I'm pulling it out of my ass, all right? This is really here, and what I'm getting from it is real, okay? So bear with me. We're going to do something quickly here, all right? In fact, I'm going to do it so quick that it might even impress myself. All right, so we'll go ahead and cut this out of here. Looks to me like I already have. That's kind of hard to imagine. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to filter it. Filter, enhance, high pass. Everything is non-invasive. It's non-invasive. In other words, I'm not changing anything. Nothing's being changed. that Rhodes or Wurlitzer? What do you think? Real close, huh? Wurlitzer piano or Rhodes? Let's see what we got. Take it up to 400. I say it's Rhodes because the touch is nicer. Okay. Yeah, that's Rhodes. All right, now it's about as much as we can get out of that. Oops, I forgot to hit OK. If you don't hit OK, then it goes away. Okay, what I do is I go contrast all the way up, and then I bring in, I don't know what that is, standard deviation, until I see something. See a little face there. See a little there. Okay. So we get something there. Now we're going to go ahead and hit color. We'll go ahead and hit exposure. Keep that. We'll go over here and we'll hit saturation. Hit that. We'll go up and tap. Bright contrast. All right, we are talking about an entire galaxy here. All right. An entire galaxy. 14 billion year old galaxy. All right. Are you following? I mean, you've seen the thumbnail, right? You saw the thumbnail. I'm just trying to show you the thumbnail that you saw. I'm showing you that you can get to that thumbnail. It's a little more judicious to get there. But now I'm rushing through it here, but I'm just showing you, you arrive at that. I'm just doing it haphazardly to show you that that's a reality. Okay? And the thumbnail, you see the boy here, the boy's face, the little boy's hair. He's got a black eye and an eye here, and a wide mouth. And he's got a little green body. Very primitive. And then you see a little pink jacket. A little pink sleeve with a little red shirt showing slightly, and a little tiny bit of skin, and then a little blue glove, and a little apple. There's an apple and a green stem. And then when I show you, you'll see it's a little girl's face looking that way. And this, my friends, is the first meme ever. The first meme ever. Who made it? Who made it? I don't know. Who could make a meme the size of a galaxy? Who do you think could do that? Who? Well, I'll tell you who. Omniscience. That's who. Omniscience. Omniscience can do it. What's omniscience? Who's omniscience? Who's omniscience? That's crap. That's whose omniscience can do that. It can make a meme as big as a galaxy. Oh, come on. That's a bunch of crap. You know it is. See the little boy? Little head, little round head, little round head, little round head, little black eye, little black eye, little tiny black eye, little tiny black eye. Little green shirt, little green shirt, little green shirt. Little girl, little girl, little girl. See the little girl right there to the right of my hand, right of my little hand. See the little girl's face looking, following that sight. See her little white eye, little white eye, little mouth, little mouth, little white eye, little white eye, little mouth, little hair, little hair, little hair, little brown, little mouth, little white eye, little white eye. Looking that way, looking that way. See a little apple with the little green stem. Little apple, little green stem. Little girl looking that way. Pink jacket, see? Little pink jacket with a little scarf. And pink jacket, little scarf, little red boots here. Little jacket right there, huh? Little red sleeve. Just a tiny little skin, matches her skin. Little blue glove, reaching for the apple. Shapeshifter. I call it a shapeshifter because out of everything I've rendered, there are shapeshifters everywhere. Whether they're an artistic expression or whether it is an expression of a reality, who knows? But in the case of art, I'm calling it a shapeshifter. Look at this. Do you see a boy? Yeah, I see a boy. Do you see a girl? Yeah, I see a girl. You see a boy and a girl in the same thing? Do you? Yeah, of course you do. A boy and a girl. Well, this must be a jab at our current, identity crisis thing going on right now, right? Paul, is this some kind of jab? You bringing up omniscience and a boy and a girl? Well, I'll tell you what. Omniscience can be anything it wants to be. Omniscience can be anything it wants to be. And in this case, it's a boy and it's a girl in the same body. Okay? Any feelings hurt there yet? I don't think so. Are you a boy and a girl in the same body? Are you? Are you bi gender? I've heard a lot of people talk about gender dysphoria, but how many say that they're a boy and a girl in the same body? You don't want to offend this guy, do you? This little girl or boy. I'm absolutely fascinated that GN-z11 galaxy 13.4 billion light years away 13.4 billion years ago. That's our Earth to now. Go back to the beginning of time of our Earth and then come on back to now. That's how old this is. This little thing here was made. Our entire Earth life to date 3 times. That's how old this is. Well, Paul, it looks like Holly Hobbie from the 70s. Well, Paul, omniscience can break every rule. Well, Paul, omniscience is God. God, that puts a sour taste in my mouth. I can't take that. Do you know who God is? As soon as you say God, you see a man, don't you? Stop. Do you know who God is? I know who man's idea of God is. Stop. Do you know who, what, when, where, why, how is God? Do you? Or do you not know? If you say you don't know, that's okay. Because nobody knows. Well, Paul, God is not some cartoon on a cloud. It's not God. Well, I know something that this taught me. That omniscience can be anything it wants, anytime it wants, anywhere it wants to be. As big, as little, as small, as stupid, as weird, as it wants to be. Now I love God enough to oblige God and acknowledge God if God does something amazing like this. You know why I found this? Because I do that. I acknowledge God that God did this. That's why I found it. Because I acknowledge it. That's why I found this. Me, just some dude in Ohio. Oh, well, Paul, you're out of your mind. Well, of course I am. I've got to be out of my mind just a little bit to tolerate all these human beings, man. My God. So, thank you, God. Thank you for letting me see the first meme. You made a really cool meme, God. I really think it's cool. Let's check it out. Let's go over this meme. Okay. Little boy. Little girl to the right of my hand. See her little face. You see her, right? You see her. Here, let me find you one that you can see maybe a little clearer. I made it a little clearer for us. Come on. See their little mouth. We've lost our GIMP. That's okay. We've lost our GIMP. I call it Gimping. No, it's still there. I don't think though. I think it went away. I get lost. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Where are we at here? I'm sorry. Where am I at? I get a little lost here. Okay. What was I looking at? Okay, here we are. And then I brought up a different one, hoping you would be able to see it a little clearer. Here, let's do this. This is, I was trying to make it so everybody would be able to see it clear. Okay? Girl, her little mouth. That mouth is so hard to make simple, like it is. But you can tell that if you're too close, then you see other stuff. Like, what's this little thing? There's a little smile on face. But you back it up, and there's the little girl. There's a little girl. You say, well, she's got 3 eyes. No, she doesn't. Look at this eye. It kind of like freeze your eyes, you know, and just look at that eye and that mouth. And then just back away and look at it all at once. It's a little girl looking that way. Okay. Take it down to 50. It's probably too small, but I don't know what you're looking at this on a phone. I'm looking at it on a 42-inch monitor. So I'm looking at this on my screen. It's the size of a baseball. At any rate, you see the girl's face looking this way, and you see the boy's face looking this way. He's got a big mouth, long mouth, 2 dots, hair. She has the same hair, and it goes down. It's a little mouth and a little white eye with black dot, white eye, black dot. That way. She's got her little pink jacket on, a little red sleeve, and a little blue glove, and just a tiny little bit of skin showing. And she's reaching out for the apple. Okay. So that's what God is showing us. The first thing that came in was this right here. When I render something, different things come in. And this was the first thing that came in. And sometimes you sacrifice one thing to see another thing. For instance, this was a little clearer. But in order to bring this in better, this had to go away a little bit. If I had better software, then I could just say, okay, circle that, render that, freeze, now come over here, circle that, render that, and then everything together. I can't really do that with GIMP. I need good software. I would do crowdfunding if I knew how. But I don't know if I can do crowdfunding with only 850 subscribers. I can research it because I'm not made of money. Okay, here's a man and his little peach head, little brown head, something. There's a baby, her little head, and there's red pants, green shirt, face, black hair. So you got mommy, baby, daddy. And I think this is mommy. And I think mommy is the girl. I haven't said anything biblical yet. I'm just saying there's a girl reaching for an apple and a boy looking straight ahead. That's all I'm saying. There is a little baby here. He has a darker face. And then there's a baby here, but it is very odd. And I want to bring it in better, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if I could see it better. Why you only have a choice of 100 or 200? It's just, okay, let's try something different. Let's go back to the, here. Your eyes have to adjust in order to go into this world and see things clearer. This almost looks like it's a ghost. And when my eyes were adjusted, I could have this smaller to where its resolution is nicer, but your eyes need to focus smaller. And it's just a little more peculiar. The eyes are red. It's a white gown, eyes are red, and then it's got like this C-clamp, almost like clamping it down. And it's in its chest area, right? There's another being right here. See the little head, and suit and little blue shoes. have to be very careful that I don't just say something looks like something, because that's not how this works, and nothing that I've done since I found that stone in April has had anything to do with, well, it could look like this, or it could look like that, or it could look like this. No, everything has two choices, sometimes three. But if it's three, then it has two different things to make three. Like you'll see two bodies, and then you'll have two heads, but you'll see three different types of people. Three different people off those two bodies, and yeah, you'll see. At any rate, it's like here. Boy, girl. You don't see anything else. Because there is nothing else. That's not what they're trying to convey. They're conveying two things in one. Not, oh, well, you can see it this way or that way. They are not postmodernists, all right? No postmodernism here at all. Postmodernism is a fallacy. It is a farce of a fallacy that does not belong anywhere in science. Subjectivism has nothing to do with omniscience. And it's almost frustrating. You know why? Because truth is not subjective. Truth is infinite. And for truth to be infinite and subjective, that's where the lie is. Okay, you have a deck of cards, and you have so many suits, so many face cards, and so many numbers, and you face them all up. Well, you get a couple jokers in the pack, right? And you use those for odd games. You use those if you lose a card. But they're not real. That's postmodernism. Postmodernism is like schizophrenia, and you have a new revelation every day. I know, because I'm schizoaffective. What does that mean? Well, what it means is I'm bipolar, and because I'm bipolar, I have a mechanism that gives me warnings of whether I'm going too far into mania or not. I used to think this was a bad thing. I am schizoaffective. This is horrible. No, actually, it's a mechanism for me. And a lot of people who are bipolar have this. I've had bipolar since it was called bipolar in 1980. The year it became called bipolar was the year I became it. And but I found this book from the 50s and said, "Are you feeling blue?" or "I'm feeling blue." It was a discard at the library, and I brought it home and I read it. And I thought, I've got to show this to Mom. So I showed it to my mom, But you said, well, this isn't you. This is not you. This was 1980 when parents denied mental illness. Mental illness was some kind of a taboo. Not good. Well, by the late 80s, things started to become more understood and more accepted. And because of it, there were a lot of, let me see, what do you call them? What do you call people that are, what's that called? What's it called where malingerers? Malingerers. Yes, people can malinger. They can pretend they're something until they believe it. And that's not healthy. There's a lot of malingering going on now. There's a societal mental illness going on right now, and I won't get into it because it's all over the internet. You can know all about it. But I have to tell you, and I have to put up a big red flag and tell the world, from me to you, that postmodernism is a horrible, horrible thing. It's a horrible threat to society. And I know because I've lived it. I've lived it. It's kind of like that mechanism that has been something to keep me from going over. It's something that politicians and media and controlling narcissists like to use, and professors. It's something they like to use to control things, or supposedly see into things, or to explain things, to profess about things. You end up with nothing, man. You just end up with nothing. Subjectivism and all that, you just end up with nothing. You just end up with a blob. Do you know that I can go right now? I watched an old movie last night, and at the end of it was snow, because somebody had recorded this videotape of this 1934 movie back in the 80s, and at the end of the movie it was just snow. Well, because I've been rendering so much stuff in the last 6 months, I could look at that snow and I could see things in it. And so I would freeze it. I would pause that snow and I'd say, oh my God, look at that. I'd pause it and I'd see it again. Oh my God, look at that. And let me show you a couple of, oh my God, look at that. You want to see one? See these clouds? Okay. I use a process with GIMP. GIMP is like Adobe. It's basically photo correction. You can change the brightness, the darkness, the clarity, the gamma, the this, the that. You can high pass filtering, all that. You can do all that, right? You're not really drawing anything in there. You're not making anything new. You're just clarifying it. well, this cloud, this is a picture I took. Took 20 pictures on September 14th. It was like 5 months to the day after I found this stone. And I took about 20 pictures, and I rendered 3 of them right away. And the second one that I rendered was this one. And in that batch of 20, I can't find it. I want to find it because there's other stuff in here. And I like to start all over from scratch to be able to concentrate on one thing. And I'll find it. It's in that batch of 20. I got frustrated because I tried to find a few. I went through and it's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. And you'd think that by these trees and things down here, I would be able to narrow it down, but these changed a little bit more than how it looks just by rendering. At any rate, I was able to get this far, right? Do you see anything there that stands out? Anything? Do you see anything there? I call this my breakthrough image because something is there that nobody can dismiss. Nobody can say, well, that looks like a mouse. I mean, it might be an aardvark on it, but it's a little animal, right? Cartoon. This was in the cloud. Okay? I really like his little orange antlers. I really dig that. And his little friend's pretty cool too. He's got big old eyes. Pretty cool little dude. They're like on the back of a Volkswagen, it looks like. And there's another car up here, it appears. Looks like a little chauffeur guy up here. You can see his little baseball hat. This was in the clouds, man. And there's other stuff. There's always other stuff. There's so much stuff. Who's going to see my video? 20 people in a month. 20 people in 3 months. Nobody's going to leave a comment. And I don't have enough bling. I don't have enough bling in my video. I'm a musician. I can make it as bling as you want. I can make it as upfront and gaudy and in your face as any top 10 countdown video. The software is not that hard to get. But I don't want to do that. I just want to show you man to man, man to Z, what I got, what I found. Look at this cute little bear. He's got like an orange dot, a little red dot, a little green dot. And this little S, there's an S there. I don't know what the S is. I did write Satan with a question mark. And I thought, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go into any religion whatsoever. All right? Because we're talking 13.4 billion light years ago. And we got a Holly Hobby looking thing here. Makes no sense. Doesn't need to make sense. So, that was the last entry. 11/24/21. Think about that. Think about that. We'll work our way a little bit backwards here. This is Space Shuttle, or not Space Shuttle. This is Hubble Telescope, GN-z11. So that little blob called the galaxy. This is all that galaxy. So, we're talking billions of square miles here. Billions of square miles. Okay? Here we are. 13.2 billion years to the creation of the universe. Hubble captures photo that looks back to 13.2 billion years to the creation of the universe. And we have this face. Again, is it a boy? Is it a girl? I don't know. If that's the hair, kind of like a girl. If that's the face of the little dog with the antennas, that little guy, they share an eye. That could be a boy. So, there they are, and there they are. And then this here, this kind of plays with the mind a bit. Almost looks like a woman, the bust of a woman, waist maybe, face maybe, hard to say. Hard to say. I get a little bit feisty in my speech. Looks back to the universe. My technocratic wannabe hive mind global elitist cabal, like we see now, would hide God. See, I have to remember that I'm not inferior. I have to remember that just because I found this doesn't mean that somebody with a bigger setup and more people on it should be able to find it, or did, and now are hiding it from us. No. I should give myself some credit for being the one to find this stuff. And I should give them some credit for not finding it. Maybe because they didn't find it. They didn't know to look. They didn't know how to look or where to look or why to look. I opened some doors, okay? I found a stone in April. I wanted to see on the stone clearer what was there. And in doing so, 10 weeks after I deciphered everything from the stone, I realized that I had acquired a set of skills using image software that I could possibly apply elsewhere. So the first thing I applied it to was a UFO picture. And in the UFO picture, I found it was this right here. This was all just black background with white lights. Black sky, white lights. So that's what I did. And I noticed, wow, there are things here. And so I found the things. And I circled the things. And then I did this one. This is the Battle of Los Angeles, 1942. And I noticed that on the stone that I found, this is from the stone that I found, that being was also on the Battle of Los Angeles, as was the feline alien. She's right here. She's also on the stone. I saw something else there and circled it, but I don't even know what I saw. But definitely, but then later on I saw her. I thought, how did I miss that? So there is eye, feline eye, black hair, feline alien, and so on. And yeah, you can look at the stone at your own leisure. I did make a better video up here. You could always watch it on YouTube or watch it here. It's kind of a quasi video. It's like not, I didn't make the video about the stone very concise because I had found the nebula, stuff in the nebula. And here's the nebula. Nebula GN-z 2014, discovered in 2012 or some such. And I think that's when they found it. And you can read the particulars about it. It's 163,000 light years away. The space shuttle can go from New York City to Los Angeles in 4 minutes. That's traveling at 5 miles per second. If the space shuttle flew from Earth at 5 miles per second, it would take 9 billion, let's see here. It would take 6,636,900,000 years to get to this nebula. On this nebula, there are a lot of oddities. The one that stands out the most is this woman. Female pilot, black boots, orange jumpsuit, orange shoulder, face, hat, blue sleeve. Look a little closer, you see an S right there. You see an S. Remember the S that was on beside that bear on the first galaxy 13.4 billion years ago? Okay, here's the S 163,000 years ago. And so I posted this like early October, I believe, is when I discovered this here, found it, whatever. Peered into it. And, but last week, I saw a face and it was upside down. And I thought, let me go over there and flip that over. See, I try not to look too close into what's already there. You know, some of these things, I could take that and I could zoom into that and see even other stuff. It took me a minute to see this face right here, though. There's a face. Okay, see the chin. Kind of a chiseled jaw. The right half of her face is purplish. There's her mouth. This is her jaw, her mouth, her cheek, her eye, her nose, and her other eye, her face. So that's clearer, more clearly human. And then here. She's nude, it appears. And there's an S. She's holding something. Looks like hairs one in her face. This arrow here is constant. This looks like the Lubbock Lights shape. There's another face. See, I see now. Looks like 9. See, you know, you're thinking 666. Where's the 666? I see a 666. No, you can't really jump to those conclusions. There's a 2. But things aren't that apparent. Like, I didn't see any of this. It doesn't just jump out at you. That's why it's weird me showing you this stuff, because I'm reeling you into looking at it quickly, whereas it took me hours to be able to even see it. I didn't just look at it and, wow, okay, I see all this stuff. I didn't see this face. It's there plain as day now, but I did not see that until 2 days ago. And I had looked at this probably, I don't know, an hour of my life, but I never saw that. And it just looks so plain as day. Perspective is really, really important. Like, I have this on a 42-inch monitor. This is the size of a, I don't know, I would say this is like a foot. This is about a foot long here. On your phone, it might be 3 inches, 2 inches. And on your phone, it might be clear. Sometimes things on the phone are clear for some reason because of its size. So that's that, and all kinds of things here. That guy's face, it's pretty clear. There's a man's face there. Some of these things are a little hard to figure out, though. Oh, here's a cool one right up here. See this little, very Indian-looking India. It's like some sort of a building, some sort of structure with a point. The stone I found. It's photographed. See the E upside down, or the sideways E, and the I, and the I, and the I. How perfect they are. Wow. On the stone, it's pretty rough. It's like right there. The stone's pretty rough looking. There's no way you could make that show up that clear unless it was photographically applied somehow. It was applied photographically. $800 years ago. 791 years ago. Or something like that. 789. 789 years, I believe. That's how I figured that. 1236. 1235 AD. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 35. In 2035 it will be 800 years. In 2025 it will be 790 years. So 786 years. 786 years ago, there are photographs. See the face, woman's hair, woman's face. Another face. And then there's a better picture, actually. Yeah, see, there's a man's face. Photograph, mouth, nose, eyes. There's a hand right here, like a palm up, and these fingers are up here. If I can bring that in. always takes time for your eyes to adjust a little bit. Right here, this is something that it looks like some sort of projector. Let me see here. It's almost like an oscilloscope type thing. And then there's this, and I think you can like look through that. This, I'm thinking this is like the camera, some sort of camera. Because you can tell by looking at this that this is kind of like a closed circuit TV, like a CRT monitor, like for police surveillance. You know, the little square monitors. Even if you're young, you know what I'm talking about. The little black and white TV screens with the glass picture tube. Yeah. This looks like video. That's what I'm trying to say. It looks like video. It looks like black and white video. Doesn't it? So, that said, I believe I'm sitting on the oldest video and photos known to man, right? But everybody's asleep. Everybody's asleep. See, part of it is my ability to be a salesman. Man, I am one of these guys. I'm bipolar, okay? And I have coping mechanisms. One of my coping mechanisms is dissociative identity disorder. It's not a disorder, it's a coping mechanism. It's all a coping mechanism for bipolar. Bipolar is the hell ride of a mental illness if there ever was one. And other mental illnesses are coping mechanisms for it. You know, all the people out there with DID, wouldn't it be cool if 1 million people were watching this? That way, I could say, yeah, okay, all you people out there that have DID, you know, all 12 of you out of 1 million or whatever, do you also have bipolar? And I bet the answer would probably be yes. Or do you have other mental illnesses? Do you have PTSD? Do you have bipolar, PTSD, ADHD? DID? Anybody out there? Schizoaffective? Okay. Oh, good. The main thing is if you have bipolar and you have anything you use for a coping mechanism, and it's not something that you've done as an adult, it's something that's been wired in you since you were little. Especially if you have PTSD. If you have PTSD, then you already have dissociative aspects to your personality. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. The reason why I bring it up is I can't remember. Because I'm not who I was 5 minutes ago. Man, god damn it. So here we are. We have this camera. And so we're looking at the first video, it looks like. Isn't that pretty cool? And then this here, I don't know what to make of this. It's like, if you look at it, it's almost like, oh, here's this nasty alien and he's lording over this man sitting here who's tied up. But honestly, because look at that. I think that's some kind of a machine. I think it's some kind of machine. Because this is a mining operation. It's a mining operation. There is an excavator down here. Let's see if we can see this right here. This is an excavating machine. You can see a big dog gear. It's got a gearing system here that typically, this right here, if it's moving on a rotation, this right here is rotating, right? It's a full drum gear, toothed drum, and then this here is a vertical shaft with a partial movement and reset. And so that is attached to an excavator, like a shovel that reaches out and grabs and comes back in, retracts and reaches out and grabs and comes back in. And so that's the sort of mechanism that would be there. You know, if you're quick to judge, you might think that's some kind of space station or something, but it's not. It's an excavator. And right here is the operator sitting here. And this right here, it can be an umbilical cord for the machinery. Although this right here looks like that's what that is. So I'm thinking, is this a tail? And is this a ET sitting there operating this? There are ETs operating things. I can show you. I've got this cranked up. Right here. There's the stone, by the way. Found it in my driveway. That's a greenish, grayish stone that people down here in southern Ohio know all about it. They know about that type of stone. It came from West Virginia. People love it because it holds up well in their driveway. Well, my driveway is mostly dirt, but there's been gravel put on it for years, so it's got a solid base. So the base is good, but it just looks like dirt. But it's a good base. You can drive on it. And this just showed up. I was walking on crutches because I had foot surgery, and so I looked at the ground more. And when I was coming from the mailbox down the road, I was looking at the ground, and I thought, oh, let me pick up a rock. So I picked one up, and it wasn't anything. So I flipped it forward and kept moving on my crutches, and I flipped it forward right before I took a step. And as I came forward on the crutch and landed, the little stone that I flipped forward also landed, and it landed right next to this. And so I picked it up, and I saw this little woman. And when I blew it up with my phone, I realized it was a feline alien. I recognized it because I'd seen it before. This is the O in the center of the stone. And there are signs of cave mining. Appears to be some machinery for mining. One might be a pump, like an air pump or something. There's also a signature there. It appears to be a barn of some sort. Now above the O, there are two squares that are iridescent looking. And that's what the video is that we were looking at. My focus looked through for this, and then when I backed off the point of view or whatever, that's where the video shows up. There is, this looks like it's a satellite, but it could be about anything, actually. It could be part of the mining, sifting process. It could be about anything. Praying mantis has a little hand here. See a little fur on his tentacles. Another praying mantis looking that way. He's got some sort of a drill attachment. There's a little alien silhouette. Looks like a ponytail. Somebody's in that space helmet. Bit of a shapeshifter here. You can see a little guy here looking that way. Little jawline, little mouth, little nose, little eyes. Little droid looking that way. The little cylinder head that Legos have. This here, I see a face here. And it just seems to, for some reason, I mean, it looks African profile, but it makes me think of that Lubbock Lights for some reason. I don't know why I'm so drawn to that. Because on the Lubbock Lights, oh, come on. God, I hate this. Yeah, I do not like this blog because you can't blow anything up. You can't. Well, I guess it's bigger here. So I would prefer to have things smaller here. And then that page where you see everything, you can blow it up and make it smaller. But I make everything bigger here because I don't know what device you have. This is my favorite on the stone. Can make it smaller just to, that looks better to me. Now you see a three-dimensional cartoon man here. You see that there's some sort of a processing going on here, some sort of a electronic advanced technology, hyperdimensional I don't watch enough Star Trek. Hyperdimensional apparatus that's light. What would that be called? Some sort of photo transformation thing. But you see like this big guy's in here. He looks like a big marshmallow man. There's his mouth and his eyes. He's got a big claw coming out here. And there's another guy right here. And transformation. So it's almost like here's this marshmallow man and he's moving into that form and that form. And then this boy. And the boy looks like me. But then you look again, it looks like he's got a pig nose. He doesn't even really look human. He looks hybrid. Like Pig Boy or something. Look again, and he looks like me as a boy, as a toddler. But that's just my perception, and it's probably playing tricks with me, because it could be any little boy. And I'm not sure what this is right here. Some sort of mechanism, some machine. And there's some sort of a being. Looks like a schoolmaster or something with this collar. I never really looked at anything down here. If anything down here is associated with him or her. Over here is a nice profile. And over here is a guy, looks like he's got a little goatee and a hat. Something's going on here. I like the lighting and stuff here though. It adds dimension. But that hand's wild, sticking out there like that. If you just keep looking at this, you start to go into it a little bit. And you start to see the 3 dimensions of it. It's like a little world. So, who's this guy? Who are these people? Who are these things, beings? Are they creating someone? Are they transferring someone? Transforming someone? What exactly are they doing? I've gone over all this. This is the top of the feline woman. And, but you can see different people here. This guy almost looks Middle Eastern sitting there, and he's got like Michael Jackson futuristic open sleeve jacket on or something. And there's somebody sitting there. Just so much to see. So, I don't know how long this stream has gone on, but probably long enough. And, probably enough to call it a day. An error occurred. Please try again later. Excellent connection. So, why is the volume off? I guess we're going to end this stream and see how it worked. 4 playbacks, no clue if anybody watched. Good night, folks.